Louisiana. She's the exception and never the rule. She's a mystery that asks not to be solved, but simply to be experienced. Louisiana, where you can come as you are and leave different.
Whether you're planning a Louisiana convention, family reunion, or a southern vacation, the Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus connects you to information sources throughout the state. The Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. The Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau welcomes you and yours to Baton Rouge, Louisiana's state capital. From the old governor's mansion to fabulous dining and Zydeco dancing, Baton Rouge, authentic Louisiana at every turn.
Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, featuring Cajun-style chicken, red beans and rice, and buttermilk biscuits, all flavored by the memories and imaginations of Louisiana chefs. Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, committed to preserving Louisiana's flavor heritage.
Here in Louisiana, we have a saying, we don't eat to live, we live to eat. And y'all, that could have a double meaning. In every bayou village and home we visited, we found one thing to be true. Although all of our dishes taste great, they're not all good for us. So my mission today is to take our time-honored recipes and make them a little healthier for us. I'm Chef John Folse. Welcome to Louisiana Cooking with a change of heart. How y'all doing? Hello. Hello, how y'all doing? Hey, Mark. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing, Cherie? Hey, y'all. Good to see you. Good to see you. Y'all, welcome to my home kitchen. It's so nice to have you here today to sample some of the food that we're going to be cooking. I want to introduce all of you to my good friend Cherie and her husband Mark Zeringue. Let's welcome them. Huh? Let's give them a good hand. A nice smile. Y'all, they're from Thibodaux, Louisiana, which is a wonderful little Cajun town on Bayou-La-Fourche, right? Not so far away from the Gulf of Mexico, and of course, great cooking, hunting, fishing, music, storytelling, all takes place in that area of Louisiana. It's a wonderful place. Y'all, the mission today is simple. Cherie sent me a great recipe for an egg custard, or Oeufs Aux Lait. That's what I call it. Oeufs Aux Lait. What do you call it? Ziole. Eggs with milk. It's a custard, and of course, those things go together to create one of the most important Louisiana desserts, like a creme caramel almost. But hers, of course, is made with, milk and cream and eggs and all of that kind of stuff. And my challenge is to try to make it a little bit healthier for us by reducing some of the things that aren't quite as good. The theme for today's show, y'all, because diet is a four-letter word here. We don't diet here. We modify our recipes just a little bit. So the theme of today's show is becoming a convert, or being a convert isn't easy. When you start modifying recipes, it's a tough thing because it's a lifestyle change. And you don't have to change everything in your diet if, in fact, you're going to start to cut back a few of the things as we get a little older or whatever that we want to, remain a little healthier. Use the 80-20 rule, y'all. 80 a little bit lighter, 20 the things we love every single day. So I went to Cherie and Mark's home to get a lesson in exactly how to cook that dish. I brought my little handheld movie camera with me, and y'all, this is what I learned while I was there. Y'all, come on and visit with us. We had a good time.
We sure did.
Bayou-La-Fourche forks off the Mississippi River, winding through Louisiana villages all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. Thibodaux is one of those towns settled in the late 1790s as an important trading post for the Lafourche country. Thibodaux is home to Nicholls State University and to the Chef John Folse Culinary Institute. We traveled down Highway 1 past Lafourche Crossing, where there was a Civil War battle, to the home of Cherie and Mark Zeringue. Hey, y'all, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you, John?
Hey, Cherie,
Good
nice
to see you.
Nice to see you. Doing okay? Hey,
Doing
Mark.
fine, doing
I got
fine.
you working again, huh?
Trying to keep the flowers up, yeah.
Boy, the flowers just look fantastic. Well, look, you keep on working. We're going to go in. You want to go in and
Ready,
check?
I'm ready.
Look at that egg custard.
Let's go make
We'll
that
see in a little
custard.
bit. Y'all, it just so happens that egg custard was a favorite dessert my Zeringue used to make. I couldn't wait to get Cherie's recipe. So let's talk a little bit about the recipe now. It's your grandmother's, right?
My grandmother's recipe, she got it from her grandmother, who got it from her grandmother, so it's been handed down through the generations.
As is typical in...
Right.
Now, you know, I enjoyed the story that you told about the fact that there was never, ever any measurements for this. So you had to watch and do it and watch it. It was always a little bit different. How did you ultimately get the recipe?
Well, I sat her down one day and I said, I want you to make this egg custard, which I call Oeufs Aux Lait, which I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Right.
So as she would pour into the bowl, I would take it out the bowl and measure it.
Cherie cracked the last egg into her bowl and began to whisk. When she added in the sugar, y'all, another interesting story came to mind. Now, as far as for the sugar, I mean, we're in the heart of sugarcane country here. Is this always white sugar, or did she use syrup sometimes? Did she use brown sugar?
No, she always used white sugar because my grandfather was a cane farmer.
Oh,
so she wasn't allowed to use anything else.
Cherie's grandmother's ingredients were gathered fresh from the farm. I added in the evaporated milk and then a little bit whole milk. Cherie dusted in the nutmeg, and finally, y'all, I added in 2 tablespoons of vanilla. Oh, this smells so good. Cherie poured the batter into a baking dish, placed it in her preheated oven, and y'all, an hour later, we were sampling her masterpiece. So, you know, Cherie, talking a little earlier, I found out that we're actually related because I'm half Zeringue, and you have Zeringue in your family. Now, tell me about that.
Oh, well, you know, the Zeringue family is a large family, so you just have to talk to my husband about that. He's the Zeringue.
Oh, he's the Zeringue connection. Okay, well, I'll do that.
Okay.
This is fantastic custard.
She does well.
Yeah, I'd say she does very well. You know, we were talking. I'm half Zeringue. You're half Zeringue. Very typical of Louisiana. Where did your Zeringue family come from?
Well, John, they originally came out of Germany, Black Forest in Germany.
Right.
And settled around Hornville, just out of New Orleans.
On the river, right?
On the river in the early 1700s. And I guess as kids kind of grew up and kind of dispersed out of the Hornville area, some of the Zeringue settled around Lake des Allemands.
Oh yeah, a big contingency of Germans left the river, sometimes around the mid-1700s, and went to Lake of the Germans, Lake des Allemands, and then I guess from there migrated. Now, what about your family? How did they leave that area to get here?
Well, they were cane farmers, and which the Germans were really known for being outstanding farmers. And my great-grandfather's people crossed Lake des Allemands and settled in Lafourche Parish, around Raceland, between Raceland and Thibodaux, St. Charles community area.
Very, very typical of the German families. Big farmers, and they were always looking for big plots of land. So, y'all, there you have it. I guess walk in any home in Louisiana, and you're going to find out you have relatives. By the way, do y'all have any money? Right?
Not much.
I'm looking for rich relatives. I hadn't found a rich relative yet in Louisiana. Have y'all?
We haven't found one yet. No, not yet. We're still looking. There's still hope.
Oh, they have to have some. I mean, all of us Zeringues can't be poor, right? Anyway, it's so nice to have y'all here, and thanks so much for sharing that great recipe with me. And I see that you brought the Zeringue family book here, right? Now, you know, your family's in the book. I'm listed on page, I found it just a minute ago. I'm listed on page, what, 62?
I think.
Y'all, let me introduce Rex here to you, my camera operator. Rex is going to be right here over my shoulder all day long helping us stir the pot. Rex, look at here. See this? Therese Marie Zeringue. That's my mother, born in 1918. And you see that little star right here? That means our family is royalty. We came from royalty. See right there, that big one? You don't see it? You don't? Oh, it must have. Somebody must have taken it off. Anyway, no, absolutely. The Zeringue book was done a couple of years ago, and it shows all of the lineage of all of the Zeringues. And y'all, I want to show you one other thing that I found, because your home is less than a mile from one of the great Civil War battle scenes of Louisiana, Lafourche Crossing. Very, very important. And I found a diary here, and I want Rex to get this again, because the diary is from 1861 to 1865 right here, for Ferdinand Barreloup. And on one of the pages it says, today is Monday the 28th, very hot weather. A Charlin arrived from Thibodaux. That must have been a train, a wagon train, at 2 o'clock. On board with the McBride Company, the Bellew Company, the French Company, the Chack Bay Company, and Captain Folse's company. See, I'm talking about, my family was on your land in 1861. Captain Folse's company, who had, and all of the companies would discharge for a holiday, except for Captain Folse, who had to be confined to the camp by the colonel for 15 days because he had discussed with Gratin the booby trap affair which they tried to carry out on the big prairie. So he was confined to the camp. Everybody got off except him because the Folses always open their mouth too much. Anyway, y'all, we're going to talk a lot about all of these fun things. And now I see you brought your custard. Huh? Let me take a quick look at it right there. Sure. Y'all, take a look at this. This is her egg custard, exactly the way, just beautiful brown. Look how nice and brown that is. Now, you used, how many eggs? 6 in here?
6 whole eggs.
Now, take a look right behind me here, Rex. Right here is Rodney, my rooster. And Rodney's job is to protect me from getting any of these eggs here, y'all, because each one of these nice dark brown yard eggs you see right here, each one of these contain 5 grams of fat. 30 grams of fat goes into that thing right there. Well, you know, moderation and everything. So, y'all, now I need to come and try to take your recipe and do it a little less fat. Right here, see all the eggs? This is egg substitute. Egg white, 99% egg white, and the egg white is colored with yellow food coloring. That's all. But it has the same thickening ability as regular egg yolks, the same thickening ability. Now I'm going to add the sugar. Of course, you can make this with less sugar as well, but that's a whole other thing. We're going to be talking about a little low fat here. Cornstarch. To thicken it up, you put cornstarch in yours as well, right, Cherie?
No, I didn't.
You see that? You should.
Yep.
Huh? No, this is going to help thicken it because, of course, I'm removing a lot of egg yolk, and even though the white is going to thicken it, the white has a tendency to exude some of the moisture from it, so the cornstarch will pick that up. Now, I'll whisk all of this around, and y'all, by using the egg substitute in here and putting in the evaporated skim milk, which I'll show you in a minute, we reduce the fats in this dish 85%. 85% fats are already eliminated from this dish just with that little bit of a change. Of course, you can see that it's not going to have any different look from the actual finished dish. Now, evaporated skim milk. You know, I'm going to add the same amount you did into it. And what I like about evaporated skim milk, and Rex, I want you to look at this right here. I brought a can of it in here this morning because, y'all, when you're modifying fat, you have to read labels. You have to read labels, and it says fat gram 0, total fat 0, cholesterol 0. So by using this, everything right here is 0. And when you talk about becoming a convert, a little bit at a time, why not use evaporated skim milk? It's just that same texture of cream in the dish, and you've eliminated all of the fat, and of course the egg substitute, all of the fat out of the egg yolk. Now a little ground nutmeg. By the way, that's the little nutmeg. This kind of looks like a little acorn or something. Yeah. But this is the fresh ground nutmeg, y'all. I'm adding that in. And then, y'all, this is my homemade vanilla here. My homemade vanilla. I took a little pint of bourbon, put 2 vanilla beans sliced right down the middle, put it inside of the bourbon because you need to extrude the vanilla flavor in alcohol. So I'm extruding it in the bourbon for about 6 or 8 weeks, and then it's pure, beautiful vanilla. So I'm adding 2 tablespoons of it, and this is going to make you forget that there's no egg yolk in here. Now I'm going to stir this around. All vanilla is extruded in alcohol, by the way. So, you know, again, remember that 80-20 rule, y'all, in becoming a convert. It's about a lifestyle change, but you still have to. You still need 20% of the things you love. I mean, you'll never change all of your dietary habits by changing everything in your life. You have to take your time. Okay, y'all, now I have some little cups here. And Rex, I want you to take these, a little picture of my cups here because this is some nice custard cups. I'm going to take them and I'm going to fill them with the custard. Now you got to get out of my way, okay? I love Rex. He's always, now I'm gonna put them right in here like that. You notice I have a little water in the bottom of my pan. You put yours directly in the oven, right? But I put about a quarter cup of water, and y'all, you can even dust a little nutmeg on top of them like this. And I want to show you what they look like when they're all done. Now, this would go into the oven, 350 degrees, and I would let them sit in the oven for a little while. Let me show you what I did. I have a nice antique custard cup set here. This is very old. I run my knife around the edge like this, and I'm going to put it on the plate. See how beautiful that is? Now, how do I serve mine? A little no-fat whipped cream. You can use one of the commercial brands that's out there in the stores, but you want good whipped cream look like that. And how else would I enhance mine? What about fresh fruit? Blueberries, nice blueberries all the way around the plate. Fresh blackberries like that, y'all. A nice strawberry. And I'll tell you what, as long as you don't tell anybody that this dish right here is low fat, let me tell you what, Cherie, nobody in the world would ever know. And you know, I always tell people, don't go bragging about the fact that you're cooking everything low fat. I want you to taste this and tell me what you think right there, because that's going to be absolutely fantastic. That's a great dish. Y'all, what do you think about that? That's a nice looking plate, huh? Yeah. Absolutely, huh? How's that? Huh? Pretty good, huh? Now I'm going to take a little,
good.
Huh?
Very good.
But you see how I presented it there with all the berries? Oh, it's delicious, y'all. Now that that's done, I want Rex to take a look at this knife. By the way, Chris, you don't mind serving, huh? I'm going to have Chris, y'all, serve some of that to some of you back there. Chris, just take some of those. And here, let me give you the berries and fruit, too. You can have all of that. And go ahead and hand some back there. I don't want anybody mad at me in the audience. Rex, take a look at this platter here. You see all those beautiful things around this beautiful Ivanhoe platter. This is absolutely gorgeous. I've got to get a pan out of the oven, and I've got some nice potatoes here in the oven, and I'm going to bring those around. You see that? Oh, take a look at that, Rex. This is smothered, home-fried potatoes. Look at that, look at that, look at that. I have a purpose for these, y'all. They're going right into the center of my plate. And Rex, these have turkey bacon in them, onions, celery, bell pepper, all these beautiful home fries. Just great, great. And this recipe for the smothered potatoes came from Margie Domain out in Bayou Black, Louisiana. And these are just wonderful smothered potatoes that's going to go with a very important dish that I'm about to, that looks pretty good, huh? That I'm about to cook for you right here. Y'all, come on over here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to be cooking. Take a look at this, Rex. This, y'all, is a duo of roast, a beautiful duo of roast. I have a Boston butt, which is one of the most, now when you cook roast, Cherie, do you normally use pork or beef or Boston butt?
Use both.
Well, because pork is such an important part of Louisiana cooking. I mean, the cochon de lait, the pork roast, the pork loin, I mean, we love it. And you see what I did right here? Rex, I made some little holes in my roast, and you see I'm stuffing it with all this great stuff here. Let me show you what I'm stuffing it with, by the way. This is basil and thyme, parsley, garlic, black pepper, salt, and see these little hot peppers here? In Louisiana, we have a French term, piqué. Piqué pork roast, meaning to stuff, or to just overfill means, because I think when people drink too much, they piqué it too, huh? yeah, that's exactly. Oh, I want to turn that heat off over there. I had some. Okay, now I made my holes here in the roast. I have a Boston butt, and this is called a duo of roast because I also have a beef rump roast right here. And what I love about this recipe is that I've taken off all of the excess fat. I'm stuffing it with all of these wonderful, wonderful flavors here. And I've already stuffed all the rest of them like that. I'm going to put a lot of pepper on it because, again, in modifying diet, y'all, pepper, you can put as much as you want. Herbs, you can put as much as you want. It's really great. And then I can put a little salt substitute. I really like the salt substitute. And y'all, by taking all the excess fat off of the roast, and I'm going to use a low sodium stock here, I've taken 55% of the fat out of this recipe and 83% of the sodium here. So you know when we cook roast, you know how much fat we like, well, we've taken most of it out. Now, into my pot. You ready here, Rex? Mm-hmm. All right. A little bit oil. Y'all, everybody always asks me about my Model A bottles. Look at my Model A oil bottles right here. They're absolutely beautiful. I've been cooking with these forever. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of oil. That might have been 3. But that's all right. Moderation. I'm not trying to cut out the fat in my diet. I'm just trying to cut as much out as possible. The original recipe here calls for about a ½ a cup. Now, of course, to get those rolls out, I need my fork. Yeah. This old blacksmith fork from one of the little Cajun villages. Let me, don't tell me I don't need a good fork here. Oh, listen to that, Mark. Mark, I don't know where y'all been cooking, but this is, oh, look at that. Now, I'm going to brown those nicely on both sides, y'all, because it's important that you get a nice brown color to sear everything in. In fact, I'm going to turn that over like that. See how it sears nicely and quickly? All of those beautiful flavors will go right onto the sear right into the roast. Now I'm going to add all of these beautiful mushrooms, carrots. You know what I'm talking about? All these beautiful things. Look at the garlic, y'all. Elephant toe garlic. It's not as strong as regular garlic, but I like elephant toe because there's a nice sweet flavor to it. And what I do is add a few more of the regular pieces of garlic to it as well. So I put all of these in, and again, I'm looking for flavor in these roasts, so I'm going to add rosemary. Look at that basil. Fresh basil, y'all, right out of the garden. Isn't that gorgeous? I plucked it right out this morning. Throw some in there. Add additional flavors. I'm going to throw in some bell pepper, yellow bell pepper. And if you look down in that pot, if anybody was to look down in that pot, they would know instantly that this right here is magnificent flavor developing here. Now I'm going to put some low sodium stock down into it because I put just enough stock to add moisture to this pot while it's cooking. Just about that much right there. You see that, how nice that is? Now, whenever I put anything in an oven, y'all, I always bring the stock to a boil before this goes into the oven. If you put a cold stock in a pot and you put it in the oven, you're going to cut your cooking time by an hour because the oven needs to heat up all of the liquid. Now, remember, I've modified these rolls because I've got them very lean. I took all excess fat off, but I put garlic, green onions, parsley, thyme, basil, pepper, salt substitute, basil, carrots, onions. What could I have left out other than more salt, right, and more fat? But the roast won't have any less flavor. So y'all right here, I'm going to let this, I would put a cover on it, put it in a 375-degree oven, and again, 55% less fat, 85% less sodium. Rex, take a look at this and weep, my boy. Take a look at that and weep. Huh? See that? Have that? See how gorgeous that is? Huh? And look at that roast, y'all. Look at here. Do you think it's tender?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and all that beautiful flavor, it's magnificent. Now, Rex, I'm going to put that right on this plate. Cherie, take a look at that, baby.
That is gorgeous.
That make Mark a happy man.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Now, look where I'm putting it, Rex, right over my beautiful potatoes there. And I tell you, this thing's going to be so tender. Look at that. Look at this thing. It just falls apart here, y'all. It is so nice. Cherie, now you won a couple of cooking contests, didn't you? Somebody tell me you're too good of a cook.
I sure did. I have a couple of bragging rights. I did win a couple of awards for some cooking contests that I did enter.
And tell me about them. Where at?
I entered the one in Houma for the Courier, the Houma Courier cooking contest, and I entered. The first one that I entered was a soup category because I didn't know what I was getting into, so that was my first year.
Well, you know what? I came to your house once. I'm going to have to come to your house again because I know you're a great cook. I've seen all of the awards that you won when I was there. We're cousins. Correct. I know you don't have any more money than I got, so that means we both. But y'all, anyway, the roast is done. We have all of the potatoes and everything ready to go. We have a beautiful oyster artichoke dip right over there. Rex, why don't you go ahead and grab that with the oysters. Who says Mama's cooking can't be healthy, y'all, and with great flavor? I'm going to feed every one of you. And y'all, thanks for stopping by as we continue to cook up more great Taste of Louisiana with a change of heart. We love to have you here in the house. Hey, y'all, you ready? Let's eat, huh? All right. Oh, look at this. There you go. Oh, I got to feel this.
Louisiana. She's the exception and never the rule. She's a mystery that asks not to be solved, but simply to be experienced. Louisiana, where you can come as you are and leave different.
Whether you're planning a Louisiana convention, family reunion, or a southern vacation, the Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus connects you to information sources throughout the state. The Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. The Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau welcomes you and yours to Baton Rouge, Louisiana's state capital. From the old governor's mansion to fabulous dining and Zydeco dancing, Baton Rouge, authentic Louisiana at every turn.
Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, featuring Cajun-style chicken, red beans and rice, and buttermilk biscuits, all flavored by the memories and imaginations of Louisiana chefs. Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, committed to preserving Louisiana's flavor heritage.
Something old and something new, Louisiana Cooking with a Change of Heart, is available for $29.95. This companion book to the television series features over 150 recipes. To order, please call 1-800-973-7246 or send check or money order to the address shown on your screen.
A Taste of Louisiana, Louisiana Cooking with a Change of Heart, is available for $19.95. This VHS video contains one episode of Chef John Folse's new television series. Please send check or money order to the address on your screen and mention the show number with your order.